You're listening to Healing the Wounded Soul, Ways to Inner Wholeness, Volume 1, written by Arline Westmeier, narrated by Jolie, Holland. Forward. During the 21 years my husband and I served as missionaries with the Christian and Missionary Alliance in Colombia, South America, we had the privilege of sharing in the lives of many people. After 9 years in student ministries and church planting, we began teaching at the Seminario Bíblico Alianza de Colombia, Armenia, now Bogota. While serving there as school nurse and clinical counselor, I became more and more aware of the need to integrate my secular training in psychology with my knowledge of and faith in the living, saving God. So many students had deep traumas which their faith was not resolving. With my secular knowledge, I could diagnose their problems, but its methods were too slow to help all of them. As I searched for a better way, my husband gave me a small pamphlet written by Bishop Uribe of Senson. There I found the seeds for what I was searching. With this background information, the Lord slowly led me into the joyful realization that He had come to heal the psyche as well as the spirit and body. Since so many students had so many needs, it was impossible to reach all of them on a one-to-one basis. As a result, a seminar began to take shape, first in successive chapel periods, and then in surrounding churches. This led in turn to seminars and retreats in many denominations and cities. In the seminary, the workshops were followed with personal counseling. In churches, as many individuals as possible received personal counseling between sessions, the rest were referred to their pastors. When I began praying with people to help them bring their traumas to Jesus, I was not prepared for the rapidity of their healing. I felt stunned. I could not believe what was happening. People who would normally have taken years to heal were noticeably better within weeks. I was overwhelmed with a new awareness of the love and compassion of God for His wounded children. At the same time, I grew increasingly aware that this was not a magic button one could press to make everything all right. It required real soul searching before the Lord. People needed to be willing to search out and admit the truth of their innermost thoughts and emotions, regardless of the cost. Just as they had agreed and confessed that what God said about their sins was true, they now had to agree and confess that what God told them about their traumas and feelings were true. Just as they had taken God through their lives and confessed their sins so that they could be forgiven, they now had to take God through their lives and tell the truth about their psychological pain and emotions so that they could be healed. This can become very frightening, and some people turn away. I also came to realize that God seems to heal in layers. He would heal as much as the people could bring to Him. Then they needed to grow into that newly reclaimed area of their lives. Later, God would bring up a new layer of pain, which would awaken new areas in need of healing. Each successive phase of life awakened its own new areas of need, such as dating, marriage, parenting, and so on. This process can take days, weeks, months, or even years. Together with their psychological healing, people also needed to learn how to enter into and live in their new lives of freedom. What happened when they experienced new traumas? If God loved them and healed them, why weren't all their problems resolved? How could they reach out to help others? The frequency of these and similar questions led to the last part of the seminar, where they finally come to realize that God has been with them all through their trials, preparing them for service. In order to ensure the people's anonymity, all names, identifying data, and many places have been changed. All scripture quotations are from the New International Version unless otherwise indicated. I thank Joyce Sauter and Louise Most for their help in preparing the English manuscript.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?